Hello, this is a happy call.
I'm doing great. A little bit bored, but other than that, okay.
A check-in for seniors hung up at home.
The calls we get at least twice a week, sometimes 3 and sometimes 4. They're just inquiring about how we're getting along, whether we need anything, whether it be meds, food, or just somebody to talk to.
On the other line, workers for a senior organization in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
They want to come back. They miss the socialization. And that's what part of the happy calls is. The socialization, getting to know them. They have families that they can't see. They can talk to them on the phone. So it kind of helps when somebody can call and just shoot the baloney or however you want to call it. And, make them laugh, make them joke.
I love it. It makes you feel like you're cared about. Makes you feel good.
A phone call with a message of hope. Call your mom, call your bestie, tell them it's time for some positivity. This is Good to Know.
I opened it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet.
That feeling you get of fulfillment, satisfaction.
It's a gift to so many people. You guys,
thank you. It's just the right thing to do.
Like a flashlight in the dark room, letting me see the path forward. Kindness shows all.
These are the rocks of our community.
Hey everybody, I'm Lindsay Boach. This is Good to Know. And for the next half hour, we're going to be sharing stories of people who've really captured what it means to do good. And we start in Louisiana with a woman who's capturing people's attention with a personal message of hope.
Ready? Go.
Watch me. 73-year-old Flora Young has found a new way to bond with her granddaughter, Olivia.
Yeah, that's Olivia.
Making TikToks.
Just came over one night and she asked me if I knew about TikTok. I had never heard about it. Back in my day, you didn't do anything like that. And I just thought it was going to be a fun thing for us to do together.
But this grandmother isn't just dancing around on the internet.
Well, I know she loves to tell her story and spread awareness and empower other women to get out of abusive relationships.
I was mentally abused by my husband. And that's what most of my TikToks are about.
Young uses the platform to share the happiness she found after leaving what she says was an abusive marriage in the 70s.
You'll never see me again.
Most people would say, oh, I can't believe you're going to leave when you have 3 children. Well, you don't stay because of the children, because they're more miserable than you are watching the parents in a terrible situation.
Now users reach out to Young, thanking her.
A lot of people have a hard time leaving. And it gives them an incentive, it gives them courage to get up and do what you want to do. If they're happy watching the videos about a granny. Because not too many grandmothers like to act out and act crazy,
What an inspiring woman. And you can see more of her dancing and hear more about her story on TikTok. Her name on there is great. You Wish I Was Your Grandma. A sign language interpreter in Ohio has captured so much attention, she has her own bobblehead. More on that in just a minute. Marla Berkowitz is an inspiration and a lifelong advocate for the deaf community. Her message is important, but here is the best part. This story is more accessible to the hearing impaired thanks to an interpreter who works with Marla and will be interpreting this story.
This is a major breakthrough for us.
Her work throughout this pandemic has sparked curiosity and attention. She even has a fan base and a bobblehead. Oh yeah, it's hands move. But who is Marla Berkowitz off stage?
Well, I'm always looking forward to getting home, to relax, to be able to cook. My best meals are with my partner.
She's a professor at Ohio State University.
When I was a little girl, I went to a deaf school. And many of my classmates there were deaf. But the teachers at the school, most of them were hearing, and they weren't really skilled or proficient in how to communicate or teach deaf children. And so I found that I missed a lot of information along the way.
So she grew up to change that as an interpreter. And when the pandemic hit, she started watching the news.
We are certainly at war.
But the closed captioning was way off.
I was trying to catch as much information as I could through the sketchy closed captioning and through the newspaper, because this is how I survived.
Coincidentally, the governor's office called and asked for her help.
So I felt a responsibility to get that information out.
Her team, Lena Smith and Christy Horn, can hear. They feed Berkowitz information during the COVID-19 briefings.
My boyfriend is deaf, and so the more people that know sign language, the more access that the community has.
I think it's about time. The deaf community has been here just as long as, any other group, and they've always been denied access.
People recognize them in public and are starting to sign thank you.
How important is it for employees to know basic signs like nice to meet you or, spell their name?
Yes, that is important. Especially in these times of crisis.
Perhaps equal access can be one good thing that can come from this pandemic.
We really need to focus on that equity for all people. It's time now to move forward and to improve upon that.
A teacher in Kentucky found a way to capture his students' attention and many more across the country.
Today, you're going to be taught by the mad scientist.
For the past 5 weeks, Mr. Lacefield has dressed to impress.
The reaction's been fantastic.
Almost every day, there's a new lesson and a new super character.
I think they've been more surprised than anything with some of the costumes that I've been able to come up with.
But it isn't too hard when you have 3 kids and therefore a closet full of costumes.
And then at the top, we have our costume wigs and props and everything.
Pieces that make his lesson so engaging, they're even attracting kids who aren't in his 4th grade class.
One of the girls in class, her middle school sister, will sit at the table with her because they're excited to see what I might be dressed up as.
And he says it's getting them excited to learn as well.
I want them to feel that I'm doing something special for them, and I feel like anytime you can make a kid feel special, they're more inclined to, be involved and be invested in it.
And above all, he's trying to make his students smile when it may otherwise be hard to.
I want the kids to feel like we care. To be able to be like, that was tough, but, our teachers, I'm good. Our teachers helped us get through this tough time.
Through it with flying colors.
As always, have fun learning, and I might see you next time.
In Kentucky, a bright idea to honor COVID-19 patients is shining brighter than anyone could have imagined. Neighbors are illuminating their homes and yards with green light bulbs.
Just like the governor says, we'll get through this together, and this is our small little thumbprint of doing it.
But Josh Kaufman and his family flipped a switch on something even bigger, and it started with a trip to the store.
As I was in the local store looking for paint to do the painting on the barbecue grill, I noticed that there's some green paint. We weren't able to find any paint to honor those that's passed away to COVID-19 and to support their families, and kind of came up with the idea just to paint my own light bulb.
He's painted hundreds of bulbs.
There's a little sign we have out in the yard that people know now that if the sign's in the yard, then there's light bulbs available.
His illuminating idea grabbed the community's attention. They've left behind hundreds of dollars in donations to help support his efforts. That money is now feeding families in need.
I've never even dreamed about anything like this.
Nashville highways have turned into art galleries.
It's really helped us to be able to gain visibility and pivot at a time when that just isn't the case for so many other people.
On 9 digital billboards, including the iconic Nashville sign, artwork is now on a loop.
It just seemed a natural to partner with Art Pop and display local artists and their artwork on this special canvas or screen that is unlike any other in the market.
Being on display in some of the busiest areas of the city is brand new for the 5 artists in this series.
The billboard's the ultimate print. I mean, it's the size of a truck. It's really incredible to have that opportunity to see your work that size and present it for the world.
This is a high point for artists who have lost business due to COVID-19.
We've been going through this month, just wonder how we're going to, to survive.
Some are using the opportunity to inspire resilience.
We are all needing to overcome some aspect of the pandemic in our lives. And the Native women warriors, they overcame a lot.
Getting this chance was very unexpected.
It feels validating.
It's also taught them good can come out of bad.
I'm excited to figure out how to shift and to continue doing what I'm doing. And I think artists, are good at being creative about how they're going to problem solve.
A group in Maryland has captured a great way to stay close to some vets.
First request is the old rugged cross. And God bless America.
Voices of Vets is a nonprofit that brings live professional music to veteran homes across the country. They were supposed to be on tour when coronavirus hit.
Vet homes and nursing homes were probably one of the first ones to lock down, and they're going to be one of the first ones to wait for that lockdown to be lifted.
For everyone's safety, they can't get in to string together moments like these. So they created these virtual concerts.
Their family may not be close, or they may have already passed, and a lot of the veterans are alone and feel isolated. And to have a group like Voices of Vets come in and show that they're remembered and that they're appreciated is something that picks up their spirits.
Some members are vets themselves, like Todd Simon, who played piano in the Naval Academy Band.
It's just a cultural touchstone and a context and something to bring a positive, happy memory during a time that may not have been so positive.
A tune can spark a memory that lay dormant for years.
Brings them back and transports them to a time that they can remember, and they're with us all again.
Rhythm and music, that's one of the last things to go in the mind. So it touches everybody in the whole building, from assisted living, skilled nursing, memory care. It's something relatable for everybody.
Now they have a chance to reach out and virtually touch veterans in all 50 states. Everyone tuned in when the first show hit the internal TV station at the Charlotte Hall Veteran Home in Maryland.
You could hear it all the way down the hall. Everyone was watching. It was absolutely fantastic. And they were singing, and it brought us back to life.
You could just feel the joy in all veterans that served. I mean, you could see some of them actually crying.
A difficult mission to spread joy through a screen.
They deserve it. They've done so much for our country. They've given so much for us, and this is a small piece of giving back that we can do.
A challenge met by a team and the tunes that carry.
Grab the rest of the family. The Tiger King is coming up. Well, kind of more family-friendly version. It's good to know.